Today I'll be talking about why this year I put more money on the software than the hardware. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I ended up buying two software this year, DaVinci Resolve Studio, as well as the Photo Director from Cyberlinked. Very good investment, by the way. This is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about investing in software since you already invest in so much money in the hardware. So a lot of people neglect that. They neglect the fact that, okay, so you are able to get a nice camera, a nice audio recorders, but remember, you got to put it together. You need a good software to do that. You can use Adobe, I guess, like the Premiere or Final Cut, and then for effects, you can use After Effects. But those are more, especially when we're talking about Adobe's product, right? It's a monthly fee, and for me, I prefer to get a software that is one-time payment, and you own it forever. And that's why DaVinci Resolve is such a good product. You buy it once, and then you don't have to pay in the future, because they do allow you to have future upgrades. Now I don't know how long that will last, but so far they've been, Blackmagic has been quite good in updating their software, like from 14, 15, 16 now, and it's been free. So I'm very proud to own this piece of software. I was able to get it for half the price because a guy who sold it to me, he had this Blackmagic 4K camera, and he upgraded to 6K, and he had like two licenses of DaVinci Resolve Studio. So I ended up buying the software from him for half the price, which is amazing bargain. Okay, so software is where the work actually happens, right? So when you're recording all the different video clips using your cameras, and then recording the audio, all these are basically data, right? Whether it's video data or sound data, and they're gonna come together. And this is where the software do the magic. You are able to put it together in sequence that looks very nice, right? You add all these clips together, you edit it properly, and then you adjust the sound, right? And then you even have to add different titles, different effects, and then you color grade the whole videos, and you get a final product. And so it is very important that you get a software you're comfortable with, and it doesn't break the bank. And this is why when you're purchasing hardware like a video camera, you should always think about the software. It's very important. Like the photo part, for example, I didn't go with the Photoshop, again, because of the Adobe's this monthly fee thing that they do. I ended up getting a $50 software called Photo Director from Cyberlink. It's not as good as the Photoshop, but for what I'm doing, because I'm more a video guy than a photo guy, it's more than adequate. So I put my money on the software. I'm very happy with it. Now I have the hardware. I just combine these two together as my toolbox, so I'm able to create any kind of, I guess, small production short films using these software, and that I'm proud of. So think about that when you're buying your hardware. Always think about the software that's going to support it, right? At the end of the day, it's all about your creativity. How are you going to put it together? You got to learn your tools really well. So software is one of those, and I'm trying my best to learn about DaVinci Resolve Studio. And so far, the learning curve is a bit steep for DaVinci Resolve Studio, because especially when you're talking about Fusion, like it has an integrated Fusion, which is like almost like After Effects, and learning the nodes, those terminology and the system, the way they do After Effects using Fusion is a bit, I wouldn't say confusing. It's just harder to understand. But once you get a hang of it, I think I'm getting better at it. But the built-in After Effects, or the effects, is I think it's good enough for what I'm doing anyway. In the future, when I want to add more special effects, then I'll learn more about Fusion. And their audio, also the Fairlight audio system that's also built integrated into this DaVinci Resolve Studio is also quite good as well. So you're able to adjust different sound and do different sound effects and all that. So amazing software for the price. Even at the original price, if you calculate the original price of DaVinci Resolve Studio compared to Adobe monthly subscription, you'll find that after about a year and a half, you would be able to purchase DaVinci Resolve Studio. And yeah, and there's a free upgrade for life, right? Unless they change that policy, but hopefully they don't do that. But I really enjoyed the software. So far, I'm learning a lot. So think about that. I hope you enjoy doing video editing. Like me, it's like a really cool hobby, and hopefully it's gonna be, I'll create something amazing to show you guys. All right. Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.